Guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I wanted to show you a hair tutorial on how I do my 50s inspired hair with foam curlers. So if you want to figure out how I get this look, then go ahead and stick around. So here's all the supplies that I use. I have my scarf for wrapping my hair, and then I keep my curlers in here, but you just need different foam curlers. They just come in a pack together. I've gotten them at Walmart, or they also have them on Amazon. So you'll just need the foam curlers, and then these duckbill clips, and then a really important thing to have is this setting lotion. So I just keep my setting lotion in here all the time, but this is what it is. It's this Lotta Body setting lotion. I just got this at Sally's. I think you can also get that on Amazon, but it just takes a fourth of it at a time. So I just fill up a fourth of this and then the rest water, and it's diluted, and then that's what you spray on your hair. But I just buy it from this big container. And then you'll need hairspray of your choice, whatever you like to use, and then optional, but I use dry shampoo a lot of the time. It adds kind of like a texture, and then it kind of adds volume for your hair too. And then just a normal brush and a teasing brush. This I got at Sally's, but this is for teasing your hair. And then a boar bristle brush. This is for smoothing the hair. I got that at Sally's also. And then this is optional, but I have the Mason Pearson brush, which works really good for smoothing the curls and just bringing the curls all together. But they also have a lot other brands that are like this, but it's kind of just with the teeth and the softer bristles in there. And then also you'll just need a regular rat tail comb. And that's about it. So let's get to the curling process. First thing I do is just take my brush and I make sure I don't have any tangles in my hair. That way it's easier to curl and doesn't have any problems later. You'll just take a rat tail comb, and then you're going to section off. I'm going to start on this side of my part. If you haven't parted your hair already, go ahead and do that. But you take about that big of a section, and then for the width of how big, I kind of do it about that length. So if you look at the foam curler, you want your hair to fit within about this much of the curler, because you don't want it to overflow and you don't want too little. So about this much hair to fit in there. And on these top sections, I'm going to be using these large curlers. So for this section and this section, I'm going to use the largest curler. So then go back and section the hair, piece about that big. That way it'll spread across nicely. And then I'm going to take my setting lotion, and I'm just going to spray that all along this piece of hair. You can either take your fingers and just run them through the hair to spread out the setting lotion. So then you'll take this largest curler, start at the very end, and you just want to make sure that you get the tail of the hair tucked under, because if you don't get that one tucked under, it can stick out when you take out your hair and be a straight stick piece. So you want to make sure you get it curved under and just hidden with the curler. Now you can do your hair lower or like this or elevated. I don't remember what it's called, but the higher you do it, the more volume you're going to get. So I like to do it more of an elevated. So you just curl it around, and then you just make sure that all the pieces are smooth. And then you continue wrapping it, and then you'll just close it on there like that. So then you just have your curler. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my rat tail comb, And then I'm gonna go just straight across here and then make a smaller section. And then I will spray it again. Now you don't want to get too much of the setting lotion sprayed on, because if you get too much, your hair can get kind of like a crunchy, hard texture afterwards, and that's not what you'd want. So you just make sure to get it spritzed over your hair, but just don't get too much. Kind of just rub it in the rest of the way, because you don't really want to get too much setting lotion. Just make sure to tuck that end under, and then I just keep rolling it and then clip it again. So now I have 2 curlers in. So then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. And usually I have just 2 sections underneath my ear. So I'm gonna go ahead and run this right along my ear and then go about the same length as this one. So then do that. You have your section, spray it, and just make sure it's all blended in. So for this section, I'm gonna already be changing the width of the size of the curlers. So this is the next smallest. This is the right underneath the biggest curler. So I'm gonna take that one and do it under the larger curlers. So if your hair has layers, it's gonna be a little bit harder to do the curlers. My hair is cut to mainly no layers. I have a little bit of, this is my newer growth of hair that's just growing out, but it works best with no layers in your hair, because when you're trying to curl the hair, you'll have to grab the littler pieces and tuck them in later. So then you just keep making sure that you get all the little pieces and then snap it back. So then there is the next curl. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. Just straight in the straight line across here. So we have the 2 rows on the sides, 2 rows so far. So then the next row, we're going to switch to the next size down, which is this size. So we started with the largest one, and then we went to the medium, and now the smaller size. So we're going to use this one. So then for my hair, usually I just have 1 more here. So then I'm going to pull the hair of the back to the back and over to the other side to separate it. And then this should be your last piece here. And then for this piece, we're going to go down in 1 more size to the smallest curler that there is. So we have the large, medium, small, and then the extra small curler. Then take the rat tail comb and just twist it to get them smooth. So now I have the first side, this side done. And then I'm gonna start on this side now. And on the top 2, we're gonna also do the larger curl. So it's kind of the same idea. You're just gonna make a section. Then you'll make it small enough for your curler. Take your spray. So then just getting it rolled up just the same way as the others. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing I did over here, about the same width. It's going to be a larger curl and then the smaller and smaller, same thing as on this side. So I've gotten to the last section again on this side, and I'm just going to take that same way as the other one and then just push the back hair over to the side to get it out of the way. And then again, you can take the rat tail comb to make sure that it's smoothed. So the top and the sides are done now. All that I have left is the back side. So I have all my curlers in right now, and if any of them feel tight, you can kind of just take it and twist it forward a little bit, but they're all pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is take my scarf. So this is a vintage scarf, but it's kind of just like one of those square scarves, and you fold it into a triangle and you lay it over the top of your hair and then up. And then usually on the top two curlers, I tie it around that and just in a bow. So then I have all my curlers secure. And then that works good for when you go, because you have to sleep in these, and that works good for kind of a comfort, but also just holding all the curlers in place. So we have our curlers in and our scarf in. So now, usually I would do this in the evening time before bed, and then I'll see you tomorrow to take out the curlers. Well, good morning, it's the next day. So my curlers stayed intact pretty well, and it's time to take them down. So you just take out your scarf. It's pretty simple. All you're gonna do really is just start taking out the curlers that you had in. See, and they're gonna be a pretty good curl. So I start from the bottom and kind of just wrap it, unwind it. So now you have all these tight little curls and it might look kind of silly, but don't worry. The brush out is all about how to get the look. So I just go ahead and I take my fingers and I kind of just comb through the curls and kind of loosen them up first. I'm going to use some of the dry shampoo. The next thing you need is the teasing brush, or a teasing comb, but I tend to like this teasing brush the best. So you're going to take this front section here, the pretty big section of it, and just kind of separate it. So then you're going to take your brush here and you'll just tease it. Also take some of my hairspray. And that's how you want it, that big, that silly. And then I'm also going to do it a little bit on this side. I have now the boar bristle brush. It's just like a soft brush. And you're going to use this to just smooth all of the top layer of hair. It's not really to get all of the hair, it's more just to get the top layer of your hair and just make it smooth. Gotten most of this top layer kind of smoothed over and put down what we had teased. So now I'm going to take my Mason Pearson brush. I'm just going to kind of take these curls and form them together to make one curl. Sometimes I'll also kind of turn my hair around like this and just brush the ponytail together. It's starting to take the shape that I want. My rat tail comb and my hairspray, and I kind of just poof back up the top area where it was teased and spray that area. Pull this just to make it all smooth. So then to make these indentions even more noticeable, that's when I'm going to take these the duckbill clips, and I just put those where these curl indentions kind of go in, and it kind of just makes them show up more. So I'll go ahead and do it on this side also. Just kind of find where all those curls are laying. You can even do it up here, so you see this is kind of like where the wave would be going. Kind of want to be careful with these up here. These don't tend to do it, but these, they kind of leave an indentation if you leave them too long, so I kind of just do it just for a little bit on those. But then these I leave a little bit longer. I hope you enjoyed this hair tutorial, and if you have any questions at all, just leave a comment below or message me on Instagram or on my Facebook page at 50's Housewife Me. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this look, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. See you next time. Bye.